I'm excited to announce that the Design Coven Interior Design membership is now open. This is a membership for aspiring holistic interior designers. Whether you are somebody that is thinking about going into the interior design industry, coming from an existing career, or a student that's currently in design school, or maybe you are an interior designer and want to pivot your business toward the holistic interior design perspective. The membership group is open. We meet about every week where we are learning from interior designers that are in the field. We learn from their experiences, we learn from their failures and their successes. We are also receiving product training from vendors. Our last meeting was on Upholstery 101. We also meet with design showrooms, and this week we are connecting with Kravet. Kravet has always been one of those showrooms and brands that I connected with at the very beginning. I always felt so comfortable going into the showrooms, and they've always been such a support for me as a growing interior designer, and now in my business, again, still supporting me in that space. So I thought it would be a wonderful way to integrate them into the Design Coven. We are having a showroom tour this coming Friday, which is June 24th in San Diego. And I've had the privilege and the honor of interviewing Beth Greene, who is the Executive Vice President of Marketing and Strategic Branding at Kravet Inc. She joined Kravet more than 30 years ago to create the in-house marketing department. Over the last few years, she directed the company's success with responsibilities for all branding, marketing, and communication efforts, including advertising, media, public relations, digital initiatives, licensing, visual marketing, and special projects. She has led the company to create the first ever searchable website of products in the industry to an award-winning print advertising campaign for the Kravet brand. She has also spearheaded special projects and events such as the Ronald McDonald House Project Design Show Houses, 2 design books focusing on the interior design industry, a blog fest that tapped into the emerging media arena. And in 2015, Beth led the development and launch of the first ever to the trade only e-commerce platform for designer quality finished products as a complement to Kravet Inc.'s business called CuratedKravet.com. She continues to be the voice of Kravet Inc. company and works diligently to keep the branding of Kravet, Lee Joffa, Brunswick and Frills, G.P.&J Baker, and now Dongya relevant and on top of mind to all designers and their clients. Greene joined Kravet as a marketing director after a 5-year tenure at Warwick Advertising, where she was the director of new business and managed the Schumacher and Waverly accounts. Prior to that, she worked at Escali, McCabe, Sloves, Revlon Inc., and Bloomingdale's. Today, she has 15 capable marketing professionals working with her to make sure that Kravet Inc. brings their customers the highest quality and most innovative products and services in the design industry. Wow, she is completely amazing. Like I said, I'm just so honored to have her come on today and share her story, share a bit about Kravet and why they are really a leading company in the design industry. And now I get to share all of this knowledge with you, whether or not you're in the design coven or you're learning or diving into the design world on your own. So with that, I welcome you to this beautiful episode. Again, the Design Coven membership is open. It will continue to be open and available to you for whenever you are ready. Just go to bewitchingthehome.com to find out more. You're listening to the Holistic Interior Design Business Podcast. This is a podcast that guides you as a new or inspiring independent interior designer navigating your entrepreneurial path. Here, with my over 20 years experience, I will share my holistic approach to design with intention and ancient practices, including feng shui, all incorporating mind, body, and spirit into my design projects. You will also learn from seasoned interior designers as they give strategies and insight of how they built their businesses and continue to work in the field. Together, we will discover supportive trade partners, new ideas, creatives, and inspiring artists from around the world. I am your host, Rachel Larraine Crawford. Hello. Welcome back. We have Beth Greene today from Kravet, and I'm super excited. There's so many wonderful things that they're doing that I can't wait to share with all of you. And before we get into that, I'm going to go ahead and set up our space, connecting us with the present moment by ringing our bell and just being present and mindful. I also love lighting a candle just to set the intention of communication, connection, and of course, creativity with fire. I love the element of fire. Perfect. So we've got that. Of course, I'm gonna pull us a card, Beth. I'm pulling a crystal card, which I've been really excited about. So let's see what we've got here, just to kind of connect with the energies and see what insight we might need for our call. So what do we have? Angel Aura Quartz. And Carrie, the designer or creator who created the cards, she has a connection with different energies of the card, right? So communication, meditation, and healing. And this is connected to the affirmation of through releasing what no longer serves me, I find healing. So our conversation's definitely going to be connected with communication, of course, but also I feel like there is some healing here in the world of students and the design world and building that bridge and that link in between these two worlds. Because I remember getting out of school feeling very intimidated and sort of disconnected. And I feel like there's this beautiful healing that's happening between design students and real world stuff, which we're going to get into. Beth, what do you have over on your side as far as nourishment? What are you drinking?
So I am drinking an iced coffee. So here where I am, it's almost lunchtime. So I allow myself coffee between 7:30 in the morning and noon. So I have a half an hour left to drink this very large glass. This is my good luck cup.
Oh,
that you can see.
Yeah.
So it's purple, so the color of lavender, actually, I think you said, which is calming, but iced coffee is not supposed to be calming. It's supposed to be uplifting. But that's what I am actually drinking today with almond milk, no sugar.
Wow. Amazing. I love it. And I have a lemon verbena tea from Amy at Paru Tea, which is a beautiful tea shop here in San Diego. We just love supporting her, and her teas are all loose leaf teas, so you can to really see the plant, which I feel like is so cool. So that's what I have. And I always start with the question of what is home? What's home for you right now at the moment?
So home for me is actually incredibly exciting and exhilarating. In year one of the pandemic, under lockdown, I actually moved to the beach.
Oh my gosh.
I live in a fully renovated, smaller beach house that is 50 yards from the bay and 100 yards from the Atlantic Ocean, with crisp white sand. It's a little teeny community on a barrier island.
Wow.
And that is home to me. And I'm going to be honest and tell you, even though I work full time, I wake up every morning and I feel like I'm on vacation. So I've already been out this morning since as I mentioned, it's 11:30. I've already been out on the boardwalk. So I've already taken in the sea air, deep breaths. I did an hour walk this morning.
Wow.
Before we are in the call. That is home to me. I do go into the office, but on the days that I'm home, it's incredibly exhilarating, and it happens to be beach season. So I have a very large outdoor deck, and the weekends are filled with friends and family on the beach with coolers of high noons and sparkling things to drink. And then we come back here and we barbecue outside with music on my back deck. So it's extraordinary.
What a dream.
I feel blessed.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Like totally living in those moments. That's so gorgeous. Thank you.
I mean, you have it on the West Coast. We don't have it here. So I'm in your lifestyle at the moment. I'm not going to tell you February is wonderful here. Right now it's perfect.
And what state are you in? Where exactly are you?
So I live in New York. I live just south, I guess, of JFK, John F. Kennedy.
Okay.
So
yeah.
Oh,
amazing.
So just about like 40 minutes outside of Manhattan. So it's like it's a little dream because I'm close to the city and I get all that experience. But I live up by the beach, so it's pretty extraordinary for New York standards.
Absolutely, from anyone's standards. Oh my gosh, that's just I'm in love with it. That's beautiful. So I would love to get into the origin story of Kravet. I just remember, being in school and having the whispers of Kravet, and then getting out of school. I graduated back in 2005, so I've always been a fan. But I never really dug into the origin story and how it all came to be, and so I'd love for you to share that with us.
So it's a family-run company. We are now just introducing the 5th generation into the business. They're in their low to mid 30s, that generation. So still very new in their careers. The 4th generation is my contemporary. I've been with the company 30 years. It's an over 100-year-old company. Wow. It was started in 1918 by their great great uncle, who came over on the boat, knew how to sew. He was a tailor in Russia. He came over. His name was Samuel Kravet, or because they're Jewish, his name was actually Shmuel, but he changed it to Samuel when he came over through, on the boat.
Yeah.
Liberty Island or Ellis Island, and we have the exact signature hanging in our corporate headquarters of where he signed the book. And he came to the Lower East Side with his wife and was a tailor and was sewing clothing for very wealthy people in Manhattan at the time. I think there's a show now on television, like The Gilded Age, where they built these gorgeous houses up on like Park and Fifth Avenue. That's the kind of people he used to sew their clothing for. And they built these gorgeous homes. If you watch the show, it's actually extraordinary. It's literally what we live every day at Kravet. They covered the windows of these gorgeous mansions that they built along Fifth Avenue and Park Avenue. And they asked him if he could buy and sew trimming, notions, buttons on their drapery panels. And also they would hang family portraits, but they used to hang them with ribbon and like a button on the top. Yeah. And so they asked him if he could get that. So he started to, on the Lower East Side, source trimmings and notions and started to sew them on their drapery fabrics. But they would get their drapery fabrics somewhere else.
Okay.
And then he would sew it. So then he was like, wait a minute, I can get the fabrics, because he had all these people and vendors on the Lower East Side. Right. So he became a middleman, basically. And that's really, to this day, really what Kravet started as, was sort of a middleman. They call it like a jobber, which would buy from one and sell to the other. But then, since then, fast forward now in the 2nd and 3rd generation, we started to, there was this whole interior design trade / community that we created out of it to do these homes. And we would sell to them, but then we would start creating products, fabrics mostly, some wall covering, definitely notions and trimmings and we'd create them as opposed to being sort of a jobber where we just buy what was out there. We'd create our own all over the world. And then I actually joined the company when they were moving to a new showroom in New York City at the D&D building. And they had fabric all around the outside of the showroom walls hanging. But in the middle of the showroom, they didn't know what to put on the floor. So they were like, well, most of our customers are putting fabric on furniture. Why don't we create our own upholstered furniture line? So that's actually when I joined the company, was to help them market and introduce upholstery. And that was 30 years ago. And we're almost at our 30th anniversary for Kravet Furniture. So that's how we actually designed the showroom. We had all the fabric and trimmings and wall coverings hung on the outside, but in the middle, we would put those fabrics on furniture. So that's pretty much how it is.
Wow. So how did you get into this business of furniture and design and interiors?
The story goes that my mother was an interior designer here on Long Island my whole life.
Okay.
She was in the 30s and 40s. She was really 40s. She was at song and dance. She was a dancer, but she was very creative. She had an incredible visual. So she never went to school for it. She had great taste. And so I grew up, my mom was a fairly successful interior designer here on Long Island. And I didn't want to do that because I watched how demanding the clients are on her personal life. But I went to school and wanted to go into marketing and went to work at an advertising agency and worked on toilet paper, paper towels, fragrances, and makeup. That's my trajectory. And then one day, the agency I worked at had a call for, they were doing a new business pitch, which was something that always happens. They have to pitch it. Does anyone know what an interior designer is? That was the email around the agency. I was the only person that worked at the entire agency that knew what an interior designer was. Made of like creative people, but no one really knew how they worked, except for me, because I grew up with it. So I answered the call. I worked on the pitch for somebody that is now my competitor. We won the business. Then I ran the business for 5 years. And then when I was about to have my son, the competitor pulled the business just as I was going out on maternity leave from this said agency to bring it in-house, which is what most of these companies do. So I was gently let go on maternity leave, and then met the person that was starting the furniture line for Kravet, and she went to the family, which was my generation, the fourth generation, and said, met someone that worked at this competitor, no longer working. She still wants to work. Would you be interested in working with her? And that's how I got started.
And you've been there ever since.
But I was in the business working on this competitor for a number of years.
Wow. And this has been 30 years. This is amazing.
Right. So I've been now at Kravet 30 years. I was the one and only marketing person working with their mom. And then she slowly aged out. And then I created this department that exists today.
And can you tell me a little bit about your department and what you do?
Sure. So so as I started, and as I love to tell this story, I was a marketing person that worked for a decorative fabric and now new furniture company. Fast forward, Kravet is now a marketing company that happens to sell fabric, furniture, wall coverings, trimmings, carpet, and decorative accessories. So we truly believe that we are a marketing company, that everybody has the exact same brown and navy blue chenille and white linen, but that the beauty of what Kravet does is we tell it to you in a story, and we help our designer, which is our customer base, the trade, sell it to their customers because we give them the stories to tell behind it. So that is a marketing-centric organization. So our department is made up of brand, and so now it's no longer a marketing department. It is a brand strategy. My title is Executive Vice President of Marketing and Strategic Branding. So we are a branding company. We are a creative content company. We have a graphics team. We have a web and user experience team. We have brand strategists. We have communication, public relations, and special events.
Amazing. Yeah, I absolutely love it. Yeah, whenever I go into the showroom, I mean, you guys are always on top of it. All of your literature, all of the collections that come out, everything is you're right. It's all a story, and they all connect. And you've done a lot of the guessing. I mean, of course, we like to mix and match things, but it's beautiful to see a vignette. It's beautiful to see a story happening. Um, in all that you're doing. And I also think that's really inspiring for people to come in too and be like, oh, I can create, we're creating stories within homes. So it's just, a example of how to tell that story and how to create it. And you guys have curated, all of your fabrics and wallpapers and the furniture itself. I mean, you can get really crazy with all of your custom furniture. And so can you tell us a little bit about the services that you have to offer designers and what they can look forward to when they come in?
Sure. So we have 34 corporate showrooms around the country in major markets and design centers. Now, a bunch of them now are actually on the street, kind of like, well, you're sort of San Diego, where you're sort of on the street, but design area. But we have some that are just literally on the street, like in Naples, etc. And then we have another affiliated about 55 showrooms that are in smaller markets that are in what's called multi-line showrooms, agent showrooms.
Yeah.
And as well as we have 75 road sellers that go out and visit designers in their home offices or storefronts and bring them sample books and help them create a sample book library. We offer a huge amount of digital tools now. I think that's really the area of our company that is really growing. Besides our website and searchable database, we have AR technologies, we have matching technologies. So you can literally, it's the most fun. Go to a restaurant, love the fabric that's on the cushion that you're sitting on, take a picture of it, and it'll show you things like it in our line.
Oh my
it's called
gosh.
Kravet Match. We have ARs, like you can put wallpaper on your walls and fabric on your furniture, put the piece of furniture in your room. Let's see. We have mapping technologies. So if you're not sure and you need to show your customer, you show them a fabric and you show them a piece of furniture, you can actually now map it on it and print a tear sheet and put it on your presentation board so they can actually see what that fabric. Some clients just cannot visualize pattern on chairs and sofas and walls, etc. So we have a very large database on our web. We just actually started about 3 weeks ago a new division within our divisions called Wall Covering Collective.
Okay.
We have the largest collection of wall covering, which is exploding right now, than most of our nearest and dearest competitors. I won't mention names, but ours is larger. So we're putting them all under one roof. So there's like a designated webpage for Wall Covering Collective.
Oh my gosh.
You can actually search by type and brand. We do a full printed sales tools, although we try to save the earth and not print, but still there are designers that like catalogs. So we have corporate catalogs, we have wall covering catalogs printed, we have furniture catalogs, a box, etc. So we have those for designers that have multi-line designers in their showrooms that want to actually show their clients. It's really, I think what we're trying to do, I believe it's relationship marketing and relationship selling, and we need to give the tools, verbal, visual, digital, for all of our sellers to work with our clients the way they need to work. We have full Pinterest boards and we get a lot of traction from Pinterest directly to our websites. And that's something that's really important. So we really are just trying to fulfill anything that a designer would want. So we call it at your fingertips. So everything's digital.
Yeah.
We have one-on-one for ordering. So we have a full, you want to call, you can call. You want to place orders online, place orders online. And we just have all of those programs. We even have what's called a concierge program. So as you spend more dollars with us and you get above the $20, $30, $50, and I think $80,000 range, you have different levels of service and benefits. That's something that we really try and push, because we believe that, as much as you are a partner with us, we will be a partner with you.
Absolutely.
As a customer.
Yeah. The relationship building to me is huge. And I feel like that to me is like what's kept my business going and has kept me so together and just supported. Like all my relationships. Everyone's just so supportive. And at any time you need, somebody from Kravet, they're on the phone, and I can get a hold of somebody super fast. And it's just like, you guys go to bat for me and you get me what I need and you help problem solve. And it's a wonderful, wonderful relationship, which is huge. And that's why I want to share, all of my resources with everybody that have supported me this whole time, because I feel like it's just grown, and it's really my foundation and how I'm able to do what I do. And it's really important. And you had mentioned a little bit about, not printing catalogs and being green and sustainable. And I would love to know what other practices is Kravet doing, because to me that's also a very important piece, not just, with relationships, or the relationship with the earth and keeping her healthy. And I would love to kind of dive into that space as well.
So for a bunch of years, we actually have been talking about what we call our Green Initiative. And I think the design industry is probably slowest to adapt for different reasons. So there definitely are a certain level of clients that want to build green. I think the commercial industry started first really with building LEED certified buildings and stuff like that. But that's from the product standpoint. And I think, we're still going to bring beautiful product, and we're still going to, buy from mills and dyes and paint and printing and hand blocking. And that isn't always as green as one would be. And I think we still have to be the company that presents the most beautiful, the most luxurious product for our customers. But with that said, we believe sort of the newest trend is for all of us on this earth to protect the earth, from global warming and from the changes and from filling landfills. So we created this green initiative that just not only touches product, and it will touch product, but it's slower to adapt for different, because of the fact that, we want to make sure the hand is beautiful, etc. So let's just start with products. So we do have pure linens that are printed prints dyed with vegetable dyes. We also stress at every mill that we purchase from what their green in their process, like water runoff into the back into the town, recycles, etc. But we are now looking at fabrics that are woven with water bottles, pet yarns they're called, that are high performance. We have woven fabrics that are woven with yarns made out of water bottles, recycled water bottles. Carpets also. All of our furniture is made with sustainable wood. It's called the Sustainable Furniture Council. So all of the wood inside, not always the cushioning, but the wood for sure. We also believe strongly in performance fabrics, because the beauty of performance fabrics is they last longer.
Yes.
And so then you can pay that forward. So it's like sort of recycle, redesign, and redecorate kind of a thing. That's sort of our tagline. So we really believe, and we will continue to look for products that have that sustainable aspect to it. We're just about to launch a product that is, we have Krypton Home, which is green. And we also have a performance Kravet armor that is green. That's treatments on top of fabric, so it doesn't emit into the CO2, those cancerous oxygen. But we are also working towards finding always products that will continue to be green. We're launching a product by a company called the Sequel Initiative that that's residential and commercial, has performance qualities to it. It takes the waste in oceans and it pulls it out, and it turns that into yarns and weaves it. So that goes beyond just plastic water bottles, but it saves the ocean. So that's from the product standpoint. The sustainability from our company, we try and build our showrooms to LEED certified specifications. We move memos, the hanging samples. We recut and recycle when we move from showroom to showroom. So we try not to put that into landfill.
Got it.
We donate all discontinued sample books to universities around the country so that we pay those forward. We do not put those in the landfill. We are a member of the Good for Future Design Alliance. It's called the GFDA, sorry. And they advise us on good sustainable practices. One of them is we're sourcing our furniture from the Forest Stewardship Council, and we are now, for every piece of furniture sold, we are planting a tree. We are part of the UPS, United Parcel Service Carbon Neutral, because we ship.
Yeah.
Again, cost of doing business.
Yeah.
We have to ship memos. We have to ship bolts of fabric to the upholsterers and to the design community. So we currently do that so that we make sure that we offset the carbon footprint. We're part of this, it's called One Tree Planted Initiative. Yeah. So for every domestic furniture order that we produce, we'll plant a tree, but we'll also plant trees for us when we travel in business. So we manage how many miles we travel, and we try and offset the carbon footprint and emissions. We have just built new headquarters both in South Carolina and in Woodbury, New York, and we put solar panels on the roof. So we try and they're very large buildings. So not only does it heat and electrify our building, but we give back what's left to the town that you're based in. So in Anderson, South Carolina, as well as in Woodbury, New York, where our headquarters. All of our shipping materials are made of 97%, so almost 100% recyclable materials. The inks that print are recyclable. So we want to make sure that they're degradable for the landfills. Yeah. We really, we move sample books, as I said, from office to office. They're active and they're not being used. We are very careful not to overprint printed catalogs, but we know designers need printed catalogs, so we make sure that we don't print. Instead of individual shipments to salespeople, we ship all of it in one parcel to them, and then they hand deliver.
Oh, nice.
We have taken the foam of the inside of our furniture. We've taken out the cancerous in the way they blow the foam in. So we did that.
Nice.
So that's just a number of them that I can off the top of my head.
That's fantastic. I love it. And also, before you and I were speaking on, what was the program that you guys are doing? Design Graduate?
So about 10 years ago, we created a program called Design Grad. Purpose behind that, we wanted to invest in the future of the industry. We have a 5th generation that just came into our company. We wanted to invest for them, for their future. So we started to, as I mentioned, give sample books, make connections, send speakers in, do some virtual presentations. We do projects at some, so we're about 250 accredited design 2- and 4-year programs around the country and also Canada, where we do different projects for them. We send a packet to professors and deans of interior design programs that are interested. Students can open up an account. There is a Facebook page called Kravet Design Grad, as well as I believe it's maybe not on Instagram, I think just on Facebook, where someone can sign up to open a student account, which will give them access digitally to all of our products for their school projects, as well as open an account for them where they can order memos for their projects. And then as soon as they graduate, it automatically turns into an account. So we want to be the first account, so wherever they go in their business next, they will have a Kravet account. So when their future employer says to them, I need you to go pull navy blue textures, guess where they're going? They're going to Kravet because they've had experience with our website and with our store.
Yeah, I just found out about this program and I'm just so excited about it. And can you tell us a little bit about what you guys are doing in September, or is that just for those certain schools? Or
so it's a pilot program just in the one school, hopefully 2 schools. But our goal for those students that are listening is that you need to go to design school because you need to learn the basics of how to design, drafting, studio designer for billing, floor planning, CAD. But internships are uber important. But if you can't do internships, you need to understand the ins and outs of working in the residential design field and soft furnishings, how to cover windows, how to select colors. There is a color theory class in every design school, but it's different when you're matching it to fabrics and window sills, painting window sills, etc. So we're creating a program called the Certificate for Residential Interiors, we're hoping to one day roll it out virtually to all design schools so that any student at a design school that wants to be a designer in a residential program will have this background. They can put it on their resume. So that's what we're doing. So we're going to pilot it in September in Savannah.
Yeah.
And then probably in New York City. And then after that, we'll work with organizations like ASID. Although, by the way, I do want to give them a plug because ASID does have a student ASID, and it's worth every penny for the small donation that you make to ASID as a student. You reap so many benefits. So that is something that we are piloting because we do want to make sure that we expose students to residential interiors, because there are many more residential interior companies that look for interns than the commercial, which is what they are mostly exposed to in design schools.
Yeah, absolutely. Ugh, so beautiful. And can you, I know that's what's to come. Is that the most exciting thing that's coming, or can you share more things that Kravet is developing and creating for the future?
So sure. Oh my goodness. Let's see. So we're going to start to do a huge video series, because we believe that video is something that, especially like on Instagram, like Reels and things like that. Not sure about TikTok yet. Our industry is definitely slow to adapt to those kinds of social technologies. Plus, everyone's so busy right now; they don't have time.
I know.
But I think really sort of the story behind it can be better captured in video content than necessarily in print. Yes. We're going to embark on a bunch of video content.
Oh, so cool.
I would tell you probably two most exciting things that I've personally been involved in this past year is through our upholstered furniture, which I think I told Rachel before he jumped on, that I was actually hired to start the upholstery division for Kravet. Well, now we have so many between our brands, and I don't think we talked about the fact that we own now Kravet Lidjofa, Brunswick, Dangia, and GP&G Mulberry Home in the UK, as well as Curated Kravet, our decorative accessories e-commerce platform. So we have furniture across all of our companies, pretty much for every room of the house. And at the last High Point Market, we introduced a very healthy presentation of outdoor upholstered furniture. So we coined it the Kravet House. So we have furniture for every room of the house. So so that was something that we launched in April, High Point Market, and it's now rolling out across the country. And you'll see, if you follow us at Kravet Inc., Lidjofa Brunswick, you'll see rooms of the house celebrated, a different room every month, starting probably this month, June, where we will celebrate all of the furniture and experience in every room of the home. So that was something that's really was sort of our big sort of noodle of a story this year. And then in 2023, we are celebrating the 200th anniversary of Lidjofa, which is the joining of Arthur H. Lee and Johnson and Faulkner 200 years ago in 1823. So we are doing a very large, we haven't picked the name yet, but I'm going to call it the Heritage Legacy Anniversary Collection. We're going to celebrate the whole year iconic Lidjofa prints. Lidjofa is really known as a print house. They're also known for the most number of hand block fabrics in the world from all of our competitors. So we're going to celebrate that throughout the year, but then it's going to culminate in September 2023 in a new carpet, furniture, and printed fabric collection, which is going to be recolors of iconic Lidjofa patterns over the last 200 years.
Oh my gosh.
So that is our big story that we're all working on now.
Oh my goodness, that's so exciting. Yeah, you guys have a lot happening, and you're always future forward.
We do.
And that's what's really cool about it all. Oh my goodness. And thank you so much for coming on. And before we go and get your information and how to contact you, I always like to ask, are there any practices that you're doing at the moment to stay grounded and mindful? I know you spoke about your hour walk this morning. Do you have any other things that you do to stay in that space?
Yeah, actually, yes, I do. I'm a crazy workout person. So I do a lot of aerobic activity, especially, again, I live in New York, so it's when the weather's nice. I like to do it outside, but I really very focused. But I would tell you the thing that, and I'm going to give someone credit, props for this because it wasn't my idea, but Barbara Barry, who is a very well-known West Coast interior designer for many years, has become a very good friend, as have many of our licensor partners. She once told me something that I really do practice every day. Every morning, before I put my feet on the ground from my bed, I take an account of my day, what's going to happen. I think about it mindfully and talk about what I really want to accomplish. And then every evening, when I put my social media phone in my bed away, I think about what I accomplished that day, whether it's personally, professionally, errands, whatever I needed to accomplish. I am a list maker, but I really have been incredibly mindful of appreciation. I think all of us have been in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
It's something that has really stuck with me. And she told me this way long before any of this worldly stuff that's happened. But just before every morning when you get up, take an account of what you want to accomplish for the day. Every evening, make sure that you have accounted for it.
That's beautiful.
And if you haven't, don't beat yourself up about it, but just make sure that the next day you sort it fresh. Fresh canvas every day.
Absolutely. Oh, I love that. I know Kravet is a trade-only showroom, and how can we, as designers, get in touch and find Kravet website, social media, and we'll put all the links in the show notes.
So our website is www.kravet.com, and you'll be able to, across the top, click on any of our brands that I mentioned before that we own. They each have their own designated pages, and anyone can go in. There is a trade login for pricing, but anyone, lay consumer, your listeners, people that are interested in design, can go in and play on our website and all of the technologies. So that's for everybody.
Nice.
We are at Kravet Inc., at Brundrig Fee, at Lidova, at Dangia_Inc., and Instagram. On Pinterest, we're Kravet Inc., I believe.
Okay.
On YouTube, we're Kravet Inc. LinkedIn, we're Kravet Inc. We actually really support LinkedIn in a major way.
Nice.
So that's how you find me. I'm at Beth K. Greene on Instagram. I share, don't have a professional one, so it's personal and professional all in one.
Nice.
Because I truly believe, I don't believe in blocking people. I believe that if someone's going to appreciate who I am in business, you need to appreciate who I am personally.
That's wonderful.
So that's it.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Beth, so much. It's such an honor to have you on here with me and share your story and all the wonderful things that you all are doing. And I'm excited for what's to come with this new line and collection, and same thing with what you guys are doing with connecting students with the design world.
Yes, for sure. I definitely, look out for it. Everyone can follow Design Grad on Facebook, because that's, I think, where most of our info and what we're doing is there. It is exciting. It's really exciting.
Very nice.
So I appreciate it. Thank you for everything. I appreciate you inviting me.
Of course. You've been listening to the Holistic Interior Design Business podcast. If it's one that you have been enjoying, please share with anyone else that you think can benefit from this knowledge, and leave us a 5-star review that helps us get seen and found by other new and aspiring interior designers. And if you're looking for mentorship, I invite you to join our club here at the Design Coven. It's a bridge between school and real life interior design. We get in much deeper there. We have virtual and in-person events, so everyone is welcome. You don't need to have a design degree to be part of it, just an interest in holistic interior design. I also want to thank our editor, Marcy Ferry, and lastly, Kinseth Thibodeau, who is our music composer. Until next time, be well, and we will see each other soon.